At this point, we're quite sure that most people miss flying, whether it's to meet family over long-due reunions or to vacations in places they have never been before. We understand the feeling, because we have been confined to our homes for over a year now. After so long of not being on a plane, flying may become a completely new experience to us, and we may no longer know what to do when on a plane. So we are here to remind you of basic plane etiquette. In this video, we're going to talk about all the things you should never do on an aeroplane. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Stay in your seat the entire flight. What? You're not supposed to stay in your seat during the entire flight? Why so? This has something to do with your health. The low air pressure in your cabin can slow your circulation. When you travel by plane, you increase the risk of getting deep vein thrombosis of DVT. This is also called the economy class syndrome. This is a type of blood clot in the veins that develops in the legs. Thankfully, you don't have to upgrade to business or first class to avoid this. You can simply get up and walk around the plane, or do a few movements in your seat. Raise your toes, raise your heels, and flex and relax your calf muscles and feet. All these things will get your blood flowing again. Make sure that you do this especially when you're on long flights. Wear your contact lenses. If you can't see well, it's better to wear eyeglasses and not contact lenses when flying. The air in the cabin is very dry, and this won't help your eyes when you're wearing contact lenses. Also, if you're someone who falls asleep when flying, contact lenses can irritate your eyes. Wearing glasses is not only more comfortable, it will also prevent you from the urge to rub your eyes. Take your shoes off. This is a major no-no when it comes to flying. Nobody wants to smell your feet, especially if it doesn't even smell nice at all. Most planes today have 3 seats per row, and this increases the chances of you being seated next to someone. It's no secret that most planes are fairly cramped, especially when you're flying in economy class. Most of the time, ventilation is also not that great. If you can smell the perfume of the lady who's sitting 3 rows from you, you can bet that people can smell your shoes. Don't get us started on people who are weirded out by the sight of feet. So, for everyone's sake, just keep your shoes on. Walk around barefoot. While we're on the subject of feet, this one definitely needs to be mentioned. Aside from taking your shoes off, another thing you should never do while on a plane is walk around barefoot. Do you have any idea just how dirty the carpets are? We're not saying that they don't clean them, but the carpets have seen their fair share of blood, food, and vomit. Some people walk from their seats to the bathroom barefoot, and the thought of all those bacteria makes us cringe. Not only is it a health issue, it's also a safety issue, because sometimes people drop glasses, and who knows, there could also be sharp glass on the carpets. Eat food that's fallen on the tray table. If your food fell on the tray table, you'd probably think it's still okay to eat. After all, it didn't fall on the floor, right? Wrong. The tray table doesn't get sanitized between flights, and unless you disinfect it before using it, you shouldn't take the risk. Stephen Moore, a professor of epidemiology at the Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health, says that tray tables only get wiped down once a day, and that's when the plane goes into the overnight station. Have you seen what other passengers use the tray table for? If you think that they're only used for food, then you're very naive. Parents have been seen during flights using the tray table to change their baby's diapers. Some people sleep on tray tables, while others even put their bare feet on top of it. Trust us, it's something you don't want your food to land on. If you're not convinced yet, then let's tell you that a study found that tray tables harbor an average of 2,000 colony-forming units of bacteria for every square inch. Imagine that! The lavatory flush button only has 265 units per square inch. Although samples tested negative for infectious bacteria, you just want to steer clear of them altogether. Turn off the air vent over your seat. Aside from ensuring that you're not flying as if you're inside an oven, the air vents also have another purpose. The air vents ensure that airborne germs are blown away before they even have a chance to enter your personal zone. This is why doctors recommend that you set it to medium or high while in flight. Feeling a little bit cold? It's better to throw on a sweatshirt rather than turn it off completely. Never ever turn the air vent off. Forget to stay hydrated. Ever find yourself parched while flying? Aside from the obvious fact that you might be snacking, airplane cabins are also known to have low humidity. This is because, according to the World Health Organization, the cabin's manufactured air is made to mimic the highest altitude humans are able to breathe at. This is akin to being atop a 6,000 to 8,000 foot mountain. This is why you should never forget to hydrate. Did you know that each flight attendant drinks a full 16 ounces of water for every leg of a flight? You should do the same, and make sure that you're hydrated. Make sure that you carry an empty water bottle with you and fill it once you're through security check before you get on your flight. Forget to take care of your skin. Is skincare still important during these times? The answer is definitely yes. Aside from making you feel absolutely parched, airplanes are also notorious for drying out skin, and it has something to do with cabin air. If you don't want your skin to feel tight and itchy, you should apply moisturizer on your skin. And just because you're in the plane doesn't mean you can skip on the sunblock either. A study found that pilots flying for an hour got exposed to the same amount of radiation as spending 20 minutes in a tanning bed. Make sure you apply moisturizer and sunblock. Be uncourteous with the window shade. The window shade is there for a purpose, so use it. If you happen to be enjoying the window seat, one of the things you can do is be at least courteous with the window shade. If people are trying to catch some snooze time, consider lowering the window shade. If someone in your aisle is trying to take a peek at the mountains you're flying over, you can lift the shade up. Being in the window seat can be fun, but don't forget that there are other people too. Get carried away with alcohol. They say that a glass of wine can take the edge off traveling. That's true, and we have nothing against that, but the truth is, alcohol can be extremely dehydrating, especially in an area where there is low humidity. When you drink a lot of alcohol, you can expect to have a particularly drying experience. Furthermore, the thin air in the cabin makes the effects of the alcohol kick in a lot faster and harder. A drink in the air is like 2 drinks on the ground. Airline staff have also been known to water down drinks a lot if a passenger keeps wanting glasses of wine. Instead of pouring a whole glass, they'll pour half a glass. But don't be upset because it's for your own good. The next time you fly, don't overdo it on the booze. Some people also act differently once they have had alcohol in their system, and the last thing you want to do during your flight is cause a commotion or upset other passengers. You don't want to get arrested once your plane lands. Drink coffee or tea. This might be a bummer to many, but the truth is, you don't want to drink anything that's possibly made from the plane's tap water. Even though the water used for tea or coffee has been boiled, you should always opt for bottled water or drinks from sealed containers. Aside from the plain tap water issue, caffeinated beverages aren't always the best when flying. Caffeine has the tendency to dehydrate you, and when you're already in a dry environment, that's the last thing you want. Fall asleep against the window. You are not the plane's only passenger, and it therefore follows that you're not the only one who has pressed their head against the window or wall. Someone has sneezed, coughed, and breathed against the glass. Can you imagine that while you're dozing at 20,000 feet high while leaning on the window? If you can't avoid doing so, at least take some disinfectant wipes with you, and make sure you wipe down your area. Experts say that if you had a black light that you could light up all the germs on the plane, you'd be petrified by what you'd see. Use the blankets and pillows. Regardless if you are a germaphobe or not, it's better to bring your own blankets and pillow. Although the blankets and pillows handed out every flight are fresh and sealed, they're sent for washing in industrial facilities. You don't know who has used them previously and how they are handled, so it's better to be on the safe side and avoid them altogether. Did we miss anything on our never-to-do list on an aeroplane? If you have anything to add, please let us know down in the comments section. Meanwhile, you stay safe, and we'll see you again in our next video.